I would give serious consideration to moving Luka.
If you were sitting here and you said, Rich, you take this one, I'll take that one. I'm not saying they're equal players, but what I am saying is, however you want me to start to then build the rest of my team, I'm fine either way.
Are you retarded?
So, I felt that was the case with the Lakers, Rich. I'm sorry. I went to Lakers games with you, sat in those great seats, watched very closely. The team would have functioned better had Luka dribbled a little less. LeBron been playing point more.
Oh, that's exactly what team's able to do. Checks in the mail. One mention a show. Here we go. Out of bounds.
Gordon Goodwin, the former Laker, comes in, quick hands, gets the steal. And Goody racing to the back.
When you look at the vast majority of NBA podcasts, whether they're hosted by agents, former players, or even current players, most of them, to one degree or another, have a particular perspective or narrative they consistently promote. And when it comes to Max and Rich Paul on the Game of Podcast, you could argue this show is one of the most narrative-driven basketball podcasts out there. The two are often viewed as strong supporters of LeBron James, and in the eyes of many fans, serve as voices for opinions he may not publicly express himself. Throughout this past season, one theme seemed to come up repeatedly: criticism directed toward Luka Dončić and skepticism surrounding Austin Reaves. Those anti-Luka and anti-Austin Reaves storylines kept resurfacing episode after episode.
Probably be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
This comes with
Austin Reaves.
This comes with a very unemotional attachment because Austin is beloved.
12 seconds later.
Watched very closely. The team would have functioned better had Luka dribbled a little less. LeBron been playing point more.
Obviously, I'm not the third option. We know that. No doubt. If this is what I'm being asked to do, I'm going to.
So let's pause that clip for a second. When it comes to these two guys, you have to wonder whether they're watching the same games everyone else is. If you watched the Lakers throughout last season, one thing was obvious when they were playing their best basketball. LeBron James wasn't dominating the ball. Anyone who followed the team from opening night through Game 82 could see that. That's not some controversial opinion, it was visible every night. Now, fast forward to the offseason, and Max Kellerman seems to be rewriting both the narrative and what actually happened. His argument now is that Luka Dončić supposedly dribbled too much and that LeBron needed to assert himself more. If that's your biggest takeaway from last season, it's hard to take seriously. Then you have Rich Paul confidently saying that LeBron James is not a third option on any day of the week. To me, that viewpoint feels stuck in the past. Guys, this isn't 2016 anymore. It's 2026. At 41 years old, LeBron's offensive game has naturally changed. A large portion of his scoring now comes around the basket through dunks, layups, transition opportunities, and efficient finishing. That doesn't make him a bad player, not even close. He's still an extremely valuable contributor. But if you're asking whether he's still a true number one option or even a clear number two on a championship team, that's a much different conversation. The Lakers looked their best last season when LeBron embraced more of a complementary role as the third offensive option, and the numbers help illustrate that point. Take a look at the Lakers' record by month. October, 4-2. November, 11-2. December, below .50. January, 9-7. February, .50. March, 15-2. April, 3-3. Their two strongest stretches came in November and March. Now let's see what those months had in common. In November, the touches per game told a very clear story. Luka Dončić led the team with 93.5 touches per game. Austin Reaves followed with 75.3. LeBron James came in third at 65.0. That's a very defined hierarchy. Luka was the primary engine. Reaves served as the secondary creator. LeBron settled into the third role. The result? An 11-2 record and a 7-game state winning streak. Now look at March, arguably the Lakers' best month of the season. The pattern barely changed. Luka averaged 88.7 touches per game. Austin Reeves was at 75.4, LeBron James finished with 68.7. Over those 2 months combined, a 30-game sample representing more than 1/3 of the season, the Lakers consistently performed their best with that same offensive pecking order. And during that stretch, they lost only 4 games. That's the evidence supporting the idea that when the Lakers were at their peak, LeBron operated most effectively as the third offensive option.
Better had Luka dribbled a little less, LeBron been playing point more.
Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
Now, there's one more point worth highlighting beyond just the touches. Take a look at what Luka Dončić did during the month of March. He completely caught fire, averaging an incredible 37.5 points per game for the month, the highest mark in the NBA by a wide margin. Behind him, Austin Reeves averaged 21.5 points per game, while LeBron James contributed 18.5. The Lakers finished that stretch with an outstanding 15-2 record, and it wasn't as if those wins came against weak competition either. During that run, they defeated teams like the Knicks, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Rockets, and Cavaliers. Luka wasn't just putting up big numbers, he was taking over games. Over the course of that month, he recorded not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 40-point performances. He even exploded for a season-high 60 points. That was a huge reason the Lakers were playing their best basketball. Yes, LeBron James settled into more of a complementary third-option role during that stretch, but the biggest story was Luka Dončić. He was playing at an absolutely unstoppable level.
Luka. Oh my, 55. This is a key possession. 4 on the shot clock. Doncic, dagger.
Obviously, I'm not the third option.
You sure about that?
And look, if you're someone like Max Kellerman who believes Luka Dončić has the ball too much, that he's overly ball dominant, you aren't imagining things. The numbers absolutely show that. But here's the point I'd make. With the way last year's Lakers roster was constructed, taking the ball out of Luka's hands would have been the worst possible decision. Just look at March. Luka caught absolute fire, and the Lakers played their best basketball of the season. While we're on the subject of March, compare Luka's level of ball dominance to someone like Jalen Brunson, who went on to win Finals MVP. Looking at overall touches per game, Brunson averaged 96.9, while Luka came in at 88.7. Average seconds per touch, Brunson was at 5.27, and Luka was practically identical at 5.28. Then you look at dribbles per touch, and once again the gap is minimal. Brunson averaged 4.89 dribbles per touch, while Luka averaged 4.49. When you compare those two players, their usage is remarkably similar. And with Brunson leading the way, the Knicks became one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference and eventually won the championship. So what does that tell us? It proves that a ball-dominant star absolutely can lead a championship team, as long as the roster around him is built the right way. That Knicks team surrounded Brunson with players like OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson, and the roster complemented his strengths. Last year's Lakers, on the other hand, were nowhere near that level in terms of roster construction. In my opinion, one of the biggest obstacles was LeBron James' massive salary, which made it much harder to build the ideal supporting cast around Luka Dončić. Now let's go back to the Lakers' offensive hierarchy. Earlier, we established that during their best stretches, the pecking order was Luka first, Austin Reeves second, and LeBron James third in touches per game. Now let's flip the script. Look at the Lakers' 2 weakest months in which they played more than 6 games. December, when they went 5-7, and February, when they finished 6-6. Take a guess at how the offensive hierarchy looked during those months. In December, it was Luka first, LeBron second, and Reeves third. In February, exactly the same. Luka, LeBron, Reeves. Those numbers tell a pretty interesting story. When the Lakers struggled, the pecking order was Luka, LeBron, then Reeves. When they were at their best, it was Luka, Reeves, and LeBron operating as the clear third option. Honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Looking ahead to the 2027 season, I actually believe moving on from LeBron James could end up being addition by subtraction. Now, are players like Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, and Quentin Grimes individually better than LeBron? No, I don't think that's a serious argument. But basketball isn't only about individual talent. It's about fit, chemistry, and clearly defined roles. Instead of trying to balance a two-man partnership with an all-time superstar who still demands a significant role, the Lakers can now fully commit to building around Luka and Austin Reeves. And we've already seen what Reeves can do when LeBron isn't on the floor. Early in the season, during one of his best stretches without LeBron available, Reeves averaged 28.3 points and 8.2 assists while shooting 48% from the field, 33% from three, and 87% from the free throw line. Then in October, he put together another incredible stretch, averaging 32 points per game. For someone like Reeves, LeBron's departure could open the door to an even bigger offensive role and a noticeable jump in production. Alongside Luka Dončić, he fits naturally as an off-ball scorer and secondary creator, similar to the type of role Kyrie Irving has filled next to another primary ball handler. What this Lakers team truly needed was a clear 1-2 offensive punch. Beyond that, they needed defensive wings, a dependable rim-protecting center, and confident role players who fit naturally around their stars. So that's where I'll leave it. One final prediction before we wrap up. For next year's Lakers, I'm projecting at least 50 wins. If everything breaks their way, I think they'll finish as a second-tier contender in the Western Conference, competing somewhere around the 3rd or 4th seed range, like teams like Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Do I see them entering the season as the favorites to win the West or the NBA championship? Not yet, but I do believe their chemistry and overall roster fit will be significantly better than what we saw last season. And in the long run, moving on from LeBron James could end up paying even bigger dividends in 2028 and 2029. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.